Have you ever wanted to get something really right and that even stopped you from starting? So, before I start a business, before I build a website, before I do a presentation, I have to know the exact steps of what's going to work. But the bad thing about that is it actually stops people from even starting in the first place. And you could wait a month, a year, sometimes an entire lifetime before you actually start a project. So today I wanted to talk about something really important, and that is perfection is for primary school. What does that mean? Well, I remember when I was being interviewed at SBS Insight, the lady asked me, where do you think this perfectionism comes from, this fear of failure and wanting to get it right? And I believe it actually starts all the way back in primary school. So in primary school, you can actually get 100% for something. It's quite black and white. You could do a math test and say, all right, good work, Jimmy, or good work, Mary, 10 out of 10. And then you think, oh wow, I can get a perfect score. And then you do an English exam and you can get an A+ or 100%. But then the older you get in university and in life, life isn't black and white anymore. You can't get 100%. Life is a grey area, but it's a bit too late because we've been conditioned in these early years, the imprint period, to believe we can get 100%. And many adults still can't get that out of their system. So as an example, in life, if I was to ask you, should you go out with this person? Are you going to be compatible? There's no 100% answer. You can't get that gold star. I mean, what type of product should I create in my business? There's no 100% answer. What should I charge for my services? There's no 100% answer. But because people have been conditioned from primary school to think that they are able to, it keeps them stuck. And I faced this when I started Authentic Education as well. I remember doing so many silly things, or looking back in hindsight. Like I would try and get things perfect and think, oh, what's the best font for this PowerPoint slide? Am I feeling Arial, or maybe I'm a bit of a Garamond, Times New Roman, like ridiculous things, trying to get it right, whereas there is no perfect font. Who knows? And I remember when I started watching The Apprentice in the UK with Lord Alan Sugar, self-made billionaire, one of my business mentors, so to speak. He said, rough and ready. He always used to repeat that. You just have to get things rough and ready. You don't have to get them perfect. So I always used to think to myself this phrase, and I hope it helps you as well. 80% is perfect. So perfect is not 100%. There are too many things to do in life, too many things to do in business, that if we spend all our time trying to find the perfect font or the perfect color for a slide, we've perhaps won that little battle but lost the war. So when you get something up to an 80% stage, then therefore it is already perfect. And the other thing I believe as well, a lot of people think that success happens in an actual straight line. So people think success is like this. A marker that doesn't draw. People think success is this. So as an example, with a business example, step 1, they might create a product. Step 2, they market the product. Step 3, that's just 4. Step 3, they sell the product. You don't even have to get the whiteboard right. And then step 4, you repeat the process. And that might take you 1 year. This whole thing is 1 year. But in reality, that's not how success works. Success actually happens in circles. It happens like this. And in each little circle, you do each of those 4 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, create the product, market it, sell it, repeat the process, create the product. It happens like that. That's how something becomes, they call it recursive or iterative in nature. It happens through trial and error. And each of these circles, that might take you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. But after 4 months here, after 4 months, your product and your business is going to be a lot further along than if you wait to get it perfect and do all the steps in a linear fashion. So success actually happens in circles. If you want to know who said that, it was a very famous and knowledgeable gentleman by the name of Cham Tang. That's me, by the way. That's what I discovered a long time ago. It doesn't happen in a straight line. And you don't really have to get it right. You just have to get it started. So don't wait until things are quote unquote perfect before you actually start something. Whatever you're thinking of doing right now, whether it's embarking on a new venture for a business, doing what you love, starting a relationship, a healthy eating plan, writing a stand-up comedy routine, you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it started. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.